Hello students, let's start with chloride, bromide and iodide ions under salt analysis for your chemistry practicals. These three ions along with nitrate and acetate, they come in the category where preliminary test is done using concentrated sulfuric acid. We have already discussed in detail the ions which come under dilute sulfuric acid category, that is where the preliminary test is done using dilute sulfuric acid. So here the first ion that I am going to discuss with you is chloride ion. So this would be experiment number 5 in your file. Here the aim is to test the presence of chloride ion, and as we have discussed earlier that the physical test would be written when you actually use this salt which is provided to you in the lab. You will see the color. If there is a particular smell or solubility also you will check in water. So here the chemical tests are starting. You have to take small quantity of the salt, dry salt, in a clean and dry test tube and add a few ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to it. You will be seeing bubbles in the test tube, which shows that there is some colorless gas coming out, because the HCl gas will come out which is not colored, but bubbles will confirm that some reaction has taken place and the gas is coming out of the liquid. So it may be chloride ion. Then you have to bring a glass rod. Second and third, they have to be done together in continuation. So you have to be very quick. As soon as the bubbles are seen here, you have to bring a glass rod dipped in ammonium hydroxide near the mouth of the test tube from where this HCl is coming out, and it will convert from colorless gas to dense white fumes, because NH4OH and Cl minus would react to give you NH4Cl. So this is, it may be Cl minus. Still, in some of the books you will find that this is the third one is confirming that Cl minus confirmed, but we cannot stop here. We have to carry out more tests, so it's better to keep it like maybe Cl minus. And then silver nitrate test is carried out. You have to take aqueous solution of the given salt in a test tube, clear aqueous solution, add silver nitrate solution to it. White precipitation would be obtained. Then you take small quantity of this white precipitate separately and add ammonium hydroxide to it. You will be able to see that the precipitate completely dissolved in ammonium hydroxide, which confirms that it is chloride ion. One more confirmatory test, very important test, but it has to be done very carefully because the chromyl chloride gas which is formed here is quite suffocating. It's a very strong chemical. So we have to do it very carefully using small quantity of every chemical. So in this test, we take a pinch of salt, that is solid salt. We are not going to make solution in the beginning. And you will be adding small amount, equal amount, as you have taken solid salt, a pinch of that, same way a pinch of potassium dichromate. This pinch is just to give you an idea that how small the quantity should be. You should not touch the chemicals directly with your hand. So you can take a spatula and then take small quantity of salt and equal quantity of potassium dichromate, roughly equal quantity. Then you add concentrated sulfuric acid to this mixture carefully and heat the mixture. You will be able to see red vapors. They will be of CrO2Cl2, which is called chromyl chloride. The name of the test is after this chemical which is formed in the beginning. Then you pass this gas evolved chromyl chloride gas through NaOH solution. You can make use of the W tube which we have used for testing carbonate when we pass CO2 through lime water, which is generated in the test. Or you can simply take two test tubes, take an empty clean test tube and put it inverted on the test tube in which this chromyl chloride is getting formed. You will see the vapors are collected in the test tube. Put your thumb on it and then add NaOH to it. You will be able to see the NaOH solution turns yellow. Then you add small quantity of acetic acid to the yellow solution and lead acetate solution to it, you will get yellow precipitation. So initially you had red vapors, you dissolved, you let the gas pass through NaOH, it will give you yellow colored solution. Then you add acetic acid and lead acetate solution, you will get yellow precipitate. Here the test gets completed and it confirms that there is Cl minus. Now the result, in accordance with the aim of the experiment, the given salt contains chloride Cl minus ion in it. So these are the reactions involved in the detection of chloride ion. You will take chloride salt for the preliminary test, the first one, and react it with sulfuric acid concentrated. You will get colorless fumes of HCl gas. Then that is to be brought in contact with ammonium hydroxide. You have to dip a glass rod in ammonium hydroxide and bring it near the mouth of the test tube from where HCl is coming out. You'll be able to see white fumes of NH4Cl. Then the next is confirmatory test, which is silver nitrate test. React aqueous solution of the given salt with AgNO3, aqueous solution. You will get a white precipitate of AgCl. And if you take small quantity of the white precipitate and add excess of ammonium hydroxide to it, you will be able to see that the precipitate completely dissolves. That means it is soluble because of the formation of this complex. And this is the next confirmatory test, chromyl chloride test. You will take salt, solid, an equal quantity of potassium dichromate, also solid, and add sulfuric acid, a few drops to it carefully. Chromyl chloride gas, which is orangish red in color, this will be produced, and then it is to be passed through NaOH solution. You will get a yellow solution of Na2CrO4. This yellow solution, when treated with lead acetate in the acetic acid presence, in the presence of acetic acid, acidic medium, it will give you a yellow precipitation of lead chromate. So this completes the reactions involved for chloride ion. The next is bromide ion. This will be experiment number 6. To test the presence of bromide ion, physical tests to be done in the lab, and then chemical test when you do 1 gram of the salt. Obviously this will also be done in lab, but here we cannot fill it right now. It's better when you do it in the lab, then you fill these two columns of observation and inference for the physical test. But chemical test, you can write all this and then you can perform it in the lab just by looking at your file. By that time you can prepare, you can remember the test, they will help you in Viva also. So take a small quantity of the salt and add few ml of concentrated H2SO4 to it. Now in this particular group where I am saying that this is concentrated H2SO4 group, chloride, bromide, iodide, nitrate and acetate, the first chemical test will be same, exactly same, only the observation would be different. The experiment that you have to carry out would be same. Everywhere you will take small quantity of the salt and add concentrated H2SO4 to it. So that's why this is common. In case of bromide, you will get reddish brown gas, and that is because of Br2 is formed. So it may be Br minus because the brownish vapors are obtained in case of nitrate also. So I cannot say it is definitely Br minus. Here we are telling you that we are giving you bromide. But when you get unknown salt, you take small quantity and add concentrated H2SO4 and you are getting reddish and brownish fumes, then you can write it may be bromide or nitrate. And then further you carry out the confirmatory test. So it may be bromide, we are writing here. Then you will carry out silver nitrate test in the same manner. Aqueous solution and silver nitrate solution are to be added. It will give you a pale yellow precipitation, which is partially soluble. What does it mean? I'll take ammonium hydroxide and small quantity of the precipitate and mix them properly. You will see some particles of precipitate will be left. It will not be completely dissolved like the precipitation in case of Cl minus. That was AgCl. So AgCl completely dissolves in NH4OH, but AgBr partially dissolves. So this is confirmed it is bromide. Another interesting test, layer test. Layer test is for bromide and iodide. You will not find a layer test for chloride. When I explain the reactions, I'll tell you why. So here you have to take these chemicals, chlorine water and carbon tetrachloride or carbon bisulfide or disulfide. That's why it is also called chlorine water and CS2 or CCl4 test. The more commonly used name is layer test. Very, very important. You will take small quantity of the aqueous solution of the salt and add dilute HCl to it. Then you add a few ml of CS2 or CCl4, whichever is available in the lab, and then add excess of chlorine water to it. Shake the contents of the test tube vigorously. You will see that there will be two layers. And why two layers? Because you have taken aqueous solution, water will be there, and CS2 and CCl4, these are non-polar solvents. Water is a polar solvent, and polar and non-polar, they do not dissolve into each other, so they will be making a separate layer. Separate layers they will be making, right? So you will see when you vigorously shake it that yellow or orangish color will be obtained in the carbon tetrachloride or CS2 layer. So this confirms that there is bromide. The reason for this colored layer, and in case of iodide you will get violet colored layer, will be very clear from the reactions which are coming up. The result, the given salt contains bromide ion in it. Now let us see the reactions involved in case of bromide ion. Preliminary test in the similar manner as for chloride. The salt is treated with sulfuric acid. You will get HBr gas first, which further reacts with sulfuric acid in the test tube and gives you finally bromine gas, which is reddish brown in color. The confirmatory test, silver nitrate test, will give you AgBr, which is a pale yellow precipitate. And this precipitate, when taken in small quantity and add excess of NH4OH to it, you will observe that the complex which is formed is partially soluble. It does not dissolve completely, so you will see some particles there in the test tube, which confirms it is AgBr. And this is the most important layer test. Here bromide is present in the salt and chlorine water is taken. Because chlorine is more reactive than bromide, it can easily displace it from the salt and itself convert to the salt, giving bromine Br2 molecule, which is non-polar. Hence this is going to dissolve in the non-polar CS2 or CCl4 layer, giving you the corresponding color. And the next experiment, which would be experiment number 7, this is for iodide, to test the presence of iodide in the given salt. Physical test, and then take small quantity of the salt in a test tube and add concentrated H2SO4. You'll get violet vapors here, which shows it may be I minus, and then I'll confirm it. I'll carry out silver nitrate test. To the aqueous solution of the salt, add silver nitrate solution. You will get proper yellow precipitation. In case of chloride, you are getting white precipitate. In case of bromide, you will get pale yellow. And in case of iodide, you are getting proper yellow precipitation, which will be totally insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. No reaction, which confirms it is iodide. And for layer test, in the same manner, you will take aqueous solution, add small quantity of the acid to it to acidify, then 1 or 2 ml of CS2 or CCl4 and excess of chlorine water, shake it vigorously. The violet coloration will appear in the CS2 or CCl4 layer. So this is again confirming that it is iodide. And the result is the given salt contains iodide in it. Let us see the reactions involved in case of iodide salt now. The preliminary test, first reaction is iodide salt. Dry salt is reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid. It produces HI initially. HI being a very strong reducing agent quickly reduces to iodine in the acidic medium. and we get a violet coloration because of iodine vapors. This gives us the indication that there may be iodide, so we carry out the confirmatory test. First is silver nitrate test. We take the aqueous solution of the given salt and add silver nitrate solution to it. The yellow precipitation of silver iodide shows that there is iodide in the given salt. And if that yellow precipitate, small quantity is taken separately and added to ammonium hydroxide aqueous solution, we will get an insoluble solid, that is diamine silver iodide. So the observation is the precipitate remains insoluble in the ammonium hydroxide solution. This confirms the presence of iodide in the given salt. Another test is layer test. Like for bromide, here also iodide ion is replaced by Cl ion. So we get Cl minus in the aqueous solution and iodine is liberated, which is non-polar in nature. So it mixes with the non-polar layer and we get violet coloration in the carbon disulfide or carbon tetrachloride layer. So these two reactions, second and third, they prove that there is iodide in the given salt. This completes the tests for iodide. So you have to write chloride, bromide and iodide in your file. The reactions, as I always tell, they are to be written on the left hand side unruled page with pencil just opposite to the test that you are writing. Suppose you write silver nitrate test, wherever it is on the ruled side, just opposite to that on the unruled side there has to be its reaction. So that completes the remaining two ions from the concentrated sulfuric acid group. They are nitrate and acetate, and two individual ions that we test individually, sulfate and phosphate, would be shared soon. Thank you.